Let's go blue! Let's go blue!
The fans are starting to get excited for tonight's matchup between Michigan and Louisville. These are 4 U of M students who have tickets for the student section tonight. I'm on part of the race course nearing the corner of Chevrolet and Bagley. This is called Cashew Point, where for the last 20 years, folks have been joining up with the Donlins in a college basketball season known more for its sloppy play and terrible offense. It produced one of the most exciting championship games anyone can remember, but unfortunately for the Wolverines, they weren't the ones cutting down the nets. Over 600 people from 18 different states and 2 different countries took part in today's marathons, which ended at Dow Diamond right here on home plate. Thanks, Carrie and Scott. As you can see behind me here, fans are starting to file into the Georgia Dome as we are less than 2 hours away from tip-off between Michigan and Louisville.
We're watching Sports Extra.
Christmas comes early for girls basketball fans in mid-Michigan. 2 undefeated teams from our viewing area square off tonight as Saginaw Novell takes on the Reese Rockets. The Reese student section getting in the holiday spirit. Look how festive they are with their Santa hats and elf gear. The game was tighter than Santa squeezing down the chimney. Tied up 4th quarter, Drew Finley. Baseline drive for 2 on the other end. Taylor Hanksbaugh evens the score. She led Novell with 15. For the Rockets, it's Finley taking over the game, John McClain style. Yippee-ki-yay. I can't say the rest. That's naughty. Then it's not Jack, but Dakota Frost with the offensive rebound and putback. No chill on Frost's game. She scores a game-high 21. Novell tries to stay in it, but Reese would pull away down the stretch. The Rockets move to 6-0, 55-45 the final.
It's amazing to beat Novell. I mean, we love coming out, winning, and playing a tough team like this. To come out on top is just a blessing.
You know, it was a game of runs. You know, we got ahead, they came back, they got ahead, and we come back and we pulled ahead. So that's what you're going to expect when you play good teams. And we were fortunate enough to have the last run and pull ahead.
One of my players in the locker room said it, and I think she said it very well, is this loss is going to make us work harder at practice and get better results, make us better.
More girls hoops. 6-0 Dow visits 2-2 Saginaw High. The High in a giving mood this holiday season. Emily Lyman goes coast to coast and finishes with the left hand. Then the High continues to play Santa Claus, passing out gifts like that. Jenna Query with the steal. She has visions of sugar plums and a basket. Dow goes up 6. Saginaw finally hears the pitter-patter on the roof. Yeah, it's the reindeer. So Kiana McKnight wakes up, stops, and pops. But Dow High earns the milk and cookies after this one. They move to 7-0 with a 47-35 win. How about some boys basketball? Bay City Western at Arthur Hill. Half-court trap leads to a Western turnover. Demetrius Humes finds Eric Davis for 2 of his game-high 20. Later, Connor Foley, no relation to Axel, running floater, kisses the glass and falls. Team-high 16 for him, but unlike the young lady that I texted earlier today, the Hill, they don't take very long to respond. Jalen Adams for 3 of his 19. The High stuffs Western stockings with coal as they win big, 80-38. I can almost guarantee that what Pistons players have asked Santa for is more wins and more people at the Palace. Detroit owns one of the worst records in the NBA. They also have the worst attendance in the league. Tonight they get the Wizards, who are about as bad at basketball as Clark Griswold is at stringing up Christmas lights. Washington has the most losses of any team in the NBA. First quarter, Tayshaun Prince makes it 11-2 Detroit. Then Greg Monroe on a mission, like Ralphie against Scott Farkas. Monroe with 15 points and 9 rebounds. Later, Brandon Knight wide open from the North Pole, way out there for 3 of his 15. The Pistons just owning this one. Rodney Stuckey drives. No look to Andre Drummond, who stuffed the stat sheet. 11 points, 14 boards, 5 blocks. Pistons having a holly jolly good time. They blow out the Wizards 100-68. In junior hockey, the Michigan Warriors fall to the Sioux Eagles 3-2. Well, the weather outside is frightful, and so is Detroit Lions football. Their record is 4-10 with 2 games left, but if you think that's bad, imagine where they would be without Calvin Johnson. Megatron is putting together one of the greatest seasons ever by an NFL receiver. He's just 182 yards shy of Jerry Rice's single-season record for receiving yards. tomorrow, he has a chance to break the record against the Atlanta Falcons. Johnson has already set an NFL record with 7 straight 100-yard receiving games, and he is the first in the league's history with back-to-back 1,600-yard seasons. Over the last 7 games, he's averaging 147 yards per contest. And, you know, with so many injuries at the receiver position, he's basically all the Lions have right now, but he's still putting up those great numbers, even though the defense is just keying on him.
Yeah. How do you think they're going to do? You don't think they're going to do
Atlanta
really
has
well
the
in a
best
row?
record in the football,
Yeah.
so it's probably going to be
Well,
another rough day.
You never know.
I'm on part of the race course nearing the corner of Chevrolet and Bagley. This is called Cashew Point, where for the last 20 years, folks have been joining up with the Donlins and having a good old time, handing out beer, cheering on the crowd, and also having a little fun with them as well.
We are where the nuts hang out. We're Cashew Point, and we've been loving Flint for 20 years.
Denny Donlin owns the famous house near the 4-mile mark on the Crim course. He's been hosting gatherings here for the last 20 years for one reason.
No, I just like to see people have fun.
The Donlin house is located near the halfway point of the race, so it's the perfect spot if you need a quick pick-me-up. Taking a break right now?
You got that right.
Grabbing a beer?
Absolutely. How come you're late? Your mother's way up there.
No, she's beating me! And my Aunt Jerry! Everyone's beating me!
Whoa, look at this guy. You need one? Oh.
I never stop because I'm always too nervous to drink beer in the race, but what the heck, it's their last year.
This is the final party the Donlins will be hosting because Denny just turned 70, and next year he wants to enjoy the festivities downtown. So this year, they want to go out with a bang.
Put your hands in the air if you'd like to see yourself on the radio.
And based on the number of smiles on faces and cups being picked up on the course, I think they did just that. From the Crim Festival of Races in Flint, I'm Jason Fielder for Sports Extra.
You're watching Sports Extra.
In the 8th spot with only 9 games left, the Red Wings' margin for error to keep their playoff streak alive is very slim. At this point, every game and every point counts. Detroit taking on San Jose at the Joe. Wings trail the Sharks by 4 points in the standings. Third period, tied at 1. Wings on a power play. Henrik Zetterberg gets it, and he finds Jakob Kindle, who lights the lamp, and that makes it 2-1. 90 seconds later, Sharks with a man advantage. Jimmy Howard standing up in front, but then Logan Couture rebounds it just past his glove, and that would tie it up again. Game would go to overtime, then a shootout. Gustav Nyquist, chance to give Detroit the lead. He goes Datsuk right there with that move, but he is denied. So Patrick Marleau with a chance to win it, and he does. Wings pick up a point, but they miss out on getting a crucial extra point, losing 3-2. But the Wings said before the game, well, actually reports came out before the game that Jimmy Howard is close to signing a contract extension. According to TSN, it's a 6-year deal worth just under $32 million. Howard has won 59% of the games he has started with a 2.41 goals against average and a save percentage of .917. The 29-year-old said there are just a couple more details to iron out, and he hopes to sign the contract by the end of the week. In November, the Tigers signed Torrey Hunter to a 2-year contract worth $26 million. Many wondered if that money could have been better used, possibly for a closer. But so far, Hunter has earned his salary, leading the majors with 17 hits in 9 games. Hunter and the Tigers pasted the Blue Jays today, second inning. Detroit up 3, Miguel Cabrera, deep drive to right center. This thing falls in, run comes in to score, and the reigning MVP would hustle to third for a triple, his first in almost 3 years, and that would make it 5-1. Later, there is Hunter up with the bases loaded. 2 more hits in this one, also drove in 2 runs as the Tigers expand their lead. A couple batters later, Prince Fielder, he's been on fire to start the season. That's a laser to right center, a 2-run double. He had 4 runs driven in as the Tigers win big, 11-1. For the 3rd day in a row, the Great Lakes Loons get rained out, this time on the road against the Dayton Dragons. The 2 teams will try again tomorrow night at 7. The Lions have signed a guy nicknamed Kickalicious. His name is Havard Rugland, and he's a trick kick artist from Norway. This YouTube video that he posted over a year ago has over 2.7 million views. He will compete with recently signed veteran David Akers for the starting job. Rugland has been working out with former NFL kicker Michael Husted. Now, I posted his entire video on our Facebook wall earlier today, and you had a lot to say about it. Jeff made a great point saying, let's see how he does with people running at him, trying to ruin his concentration. But Tom put it best. Leave it to the Lions to sign a YouTube sensation with no proven skill. Again, you can see the 4-minute video on the TV5 Facebook wall. Tiger Woods recently took over the rankings as the #1 golfer in the world, and he is the favorite to win the Masters this weekend, round 1 at Augusta, and not a bad showing for Tiger, looking to win his 5th green jacket on the par 3 6th hole. This drive is nice. He would birdie and finish the day 2 under, 4 behind the leaders, Sergio Garcia and Mark Leishman. Garcia, of course, has never won a major, but he matched his best round ever at the Masters, shooting a bogey-free round, finishing at 6 under. Phil Mickelson is at -1, while defending champ Bubba Watson shot +3.
Sergio will collapse by Saturday.
He always does.
Always does. Kickalicious, is that the guy's name?
That's what he calls himself.
Is that a serious contender for the job, or is this some kind of...
Well, at this point, they barely committed. They didn't commit much money to David Akers, so he's got a chance if he outkicks him. Then
and Akers had kind of a rough year last year.
He did, and then someone else made a good point on our Facebook wall. It might sell some preseason tickets to see Kickalicious.
That's true. That's good.
In the college basketball season, known more for its sloppy play and terrible offense, it produced one of the most exciting championship games anyone can remember. But unfortunately for the Wolverines, they weren't the ones cutting down the nets.
Nick, have you cried like this after a game before?
No, never like this. I mean, this one hurts just because, I mean, it was such a long year and we came such a long way, and I love all these guys.
This stage, for us to lose is it's heartbreaking, but for us to make it this far shows that we had a great season.
I am, sad. I am kind of mad about, the way the game turned out, but that's how life goes sometimes. I understand that.
It's hard being so close. We were right there. I mean, the difference in the game is probably just a few minutes, a few stops, a few mistakes, but we just couldn't close it out.
You have to remember that we had a beautiful season, we had a great run, and these guys are family, and we made bonds that'll last a lifetime. Things that matter much more than a game of basketball.
Now you have to wonder if it'll take another 20 years for Michigan to reach the national championship game. It won't be easy next year, especially if guys like Burke, McGarry, Hardaway, and GR3 turn pro. From the Georgia Dome, I'm Jason Fielder for TV5 Sports.
Boy.